Good morning, everyone. As you can see, the name of our synagogue is Palm Beach Synagogue, but next to Palm Beach Synagogue it says the Feuerstein Jewish Center. Ronnie Heyman, one of our very beautiful members, dedicated the building in loving memory of her parents, Sidney and Charlotte Feuerstein, who are one of the founders of the synagogue. And the Feuerstein family is a very renowned American family. And last week, Mr. Aaron Feuerstein of Massachusetts passed away at the age of 95, and yesterday was his funeral. And why is Aaron Feuerstein famous? Because he ran his grandfather's mill factory in Massachusetts called Malden Mills, which was founded in 1906. But in 1995, there was a fire and the entire mill burnt down. And he could have collected insurance and just lived out his retirement years as a wealthy man. But he said, I'm going to rebuild the factory and I'm going to continue paying all my employees till I do that. And he continued to pay them. And he said, the reason I'm doing this is not for myself. I'm doing this because I have 3,000 employees. And how can I leave them? It was 2 weeks before Christmas. He said, how could I leave them without a paycheck? And he became renowned for that act of kindness and that act of selflessness. And indeed, he rebuilt the factory. And unfortunately, the factory ultimately filed for bankruptcy. But he put people before profits. And in the State of the Union address, President Bush recognized him as an American hero who did the right thing. And in a 60-minute interview in 2002, they asked him, what do you wanted to say on your tombstone? And he said, I wanted to say, I tried my darnest to do the right thing. This week's Torah portion, Jacob arrives in Haran, and he sees the shepherds standing around the well, just waiting, sitting around idly. And he says to them, why are you sitting around? It's a long day ahead of us. We still didn't water the flock. Why are you not watering the flock and going on with your job? And they said, well, lo nuchal, we can't, because there's this large boulder, this large rock which sits on the mouth of the well, and we can't move it. And Jacob steps forward and single-handedly moves the boulder off the mouth of the well, and all the shepherds are able to water their flock. And the question is, if the shepherds said, we cannot move the stone from the mouth of the well till all the shepherds gather and do it together, how is Jacob able to do it single-handedly? And Rabbi Norman Lamb says the answer is 2 words. When Jacob asked the shepherds, why are you sitting around? They said, we have to wait for all the shepherds to come, because lo nuchal, we cannot do it on our own. And Rabbi Lamb says that when you say lo nuchal, you cannot, then you really can't. As someone said, if you say you can or you say you can't, either way you're right. It was the attitude of the shepherds that they gave up. Jacob, on the other hand, had the attitude that I can, or at least I can try. And when he tried his darnest, as Aaron Feuerstein said, he succeeded. And that's the message of this week's story about the well. We never know the outcome of our events, but we can never, ever give up trying. And if we have a mindset, an attitude that we can, then we will find more often than not that we actually can. Have a wonderful day.